The Cristiano Ronaldo is a player at Al-Nassr. Nassr? I don't know how to say his.
I'm gonna go with Nasser.
Nassr.
Yeah.
He he did the Piers Morgan interview. He was like, "Yo, I'm done here." They did pull up that old quote of him saying, I don't want to retire in Dubai.
I wanted to retire with dignity.
I want to retire with dignity, not
yeah.
in Saudi Arabia or Dubai.
He didn't say Saudi Arabia.
He said not in Dubai.
In the U.S. or Dubai.
Right.
So technically,
I mean, I guess that's where the dignity is still there.
Yeah. You managed to. But here's what I want to talk about with Cristiano Ronaldo. Where did it all go wrong? Now that the story is filled out
in Vegas, I don't know.
Yeah, but the yes, on a personal level, yes. Okay, I'm not touching that subject, but yes, of course, and that's why we don't really talk about him with glowing reviews on the show. But the conversation about you watched Breaking Bad, you've watched all the episodes.
Yes.
The question is, when did he break bad? Right, as a character, you've heard the term breaking bad. What would you say was the moment he broke bad?
That's a good question. I mean, I guess it would be, I didn't really watch him when he was at Manchester United the first time around.
I thought we were talking about the character from the show Breaking Bad.
Oh, the show. I thought you meant when Ronaldo broke bad.
I was like, when the fuck? What's his name? Hugh White. What was the character's name?
Walter White.
Walter White. When did Walter White join Manchester United? No. On the show, when would you say he broke bad?
I mean, it's up to interpretation. I guess when he started making meth is a pretty bad.
the writer, actually, the writer's not that far. The writer, because I was like, oh, it was when he did this or when he decided. The writer said the moment he decided to sell drugs was the moment he broke bad.
Right.
There's no everything else is correlated to that one decision and him trying to make that work.
Yeah.
So that brings me to Cristiano Ronaldo. Right, who played with Walter White at Manchester United.
Biggest drug dealer in Europe. We all know that.
Popular like one. When did Cristiano Ronaldo, Hugh White, wears dunk forces exclusively?
Thank you, Joe.
Joe Whitlock finds a way to put all of my mistakes in one text. When did Cristiano Ronaldo break bad? Like, when did his career make that turn? Was it going to Juventus? Was it after Juventus and trying to get to City? Was it Sir Alex Ferguson's phone call, which seemingly has ruined everything?
I would say it's probably sometime during his time at Real Madrid. I think all that success, and professional success, and then the commercial success. As soon as the conversations of I would say like 10, 12 years ago of like Ronaldo, Messi, we knew these are the two next,
right?
Jordan, Bird, Magic, Bird, whatever. As soon as he broke bad when Instagram came out. You know what I mean? Like, as soon as he became such a more than a player and he became more of a brand than he did a player. That would probably be the time. So I would say sometime during his time at Real Madrid. Because realistically, if he was such a beloved player, I think he would have just stayed at Real Madrid for a longer time. If he still had really something to offer, I assume Real Madrid was happy to let him go.
I mean, a nice cold brew said, yeah, when Madrid says you're past it, you're past it. They hang on to players forever. And that's the thing. Sergio Ramos was there for a very long time, very functional. Casemiro, obviously not an incredibly old guy, but played a lot of minutes, played there long enough. They sell him seemingly at the right moment after a little bit of injury trouble. I mean, and the jokes about, Real Madrid having a lot of control or whatever, I think we should put a little bit of respect on their name. They're financially fairly solvent. They seem to be making smart decisions, and they seem to be continuing to win while doing that. They seem to be a well-run club. But at the time, I think people would have said, Cristiano Ronaldo, why would Real Madrid not want to re-sign him? He's a commercial juggernaut. He brings so much to the club. He's an idol at Real Madrid. And Real Madrid made the business decision to say, like, we're done. We're going to move on. We're going to go with Benzema up front towards the end of his career. That's the moment. It may not have been something within Real Madrid. I think it's with him just still trying to clutch onto that being the best.
Okay.
Instead of making a smart decision, had he maybe gone to Real Madrid, back to Manchester United there? Had he maybe taken a bit of a, like, remember Rooney? When Rooney was done at Manchester United, he went back to Everton. I know it didn't work out, but he said, let me see if I could go back to my boyhood club and patch this up, help them out a little bit. He tried to make like a more meaningful move.
Yeah, and I think we see after returning to Manchester United that Ronaldo's not that type of guy. Of like, oh,
what? Well, of course not, because we're not trying to talk to you, Siri.
Why is Siri doing anything? Anyway, I just muted that. He's not that type of player. He's just not the guy that's gonna be like, I'm gonna go help out my team because they could really use my leadership or direction.
Midfielders.
Right. No,
yeah,
that's just not who he is. So the main thing, like, I don't want to spend too much time talking about Ronaldo and his new team. I think the more...
Why would we? It's just the thumbnail in the title.
But I think the more exciting news from all of this was that he was in conversations to go to an MLS team.
Well,
and I think
he was just fielding all offers.
But the fact that he even took a second call...
well, I mean, he clearly didn't want to go to Al-Nassr. Al-Nassr.
Sure, we'll just pick.
We're picking one, and we're going to go with
Al-Nassr, yeah.
He clearly didn't want to go. Nick Red said, hey, when did Cristiano Ronaldo go back?
Was it like milk?
Clearly didn't want to go there because the offer had been on the table for weeks, and he had yet to accept it. So clearly he was waiting, hoping someone else, anyone else, would sort of show up.
Well, look, you don't need an MLS team to inflate, the.
Oh, I don't think he was looking for inflate. I think he was like hoping there was another way out.
But
and I do love that SKC had his discovery rights.
So Sporting Kansas City, and we saw this. Taylor Twellman reported it, and Tom Bogert. But this was in some kind of negotiation where even like Pat Mahomes got involved.
Because it said Sporting Kansas City were the MLS team that came closest.
Right.
So that could simply mean like they took 2 steps forward.
No, but Tom also reported this, that they did have conversations and that Cristiano Ronaldo was interested and even got Pat Mahomes involved. So the Sporting Kansas City ownership group spoke to Pat Mahomes and said, like, hey,
call your boy.
Yeah. Like, and he said, let me know what I need to do. So there was
of course he owns
right. So I'm just saying
he's like, yo, this is good for the value.
No. So it wasn't
the chat disappeared.
Yeah, that happens. I'll figure that out later. But the fact that it got that far, where an NFL superstar could possibly sway the decision. I think the main thing here is that a lot of people are shocked that an MLS team was even in contention. And then I think from the MLS fan side is like, why would Sporting Kansas City even try to go after this dude?
Okay, we all know exactly why.
Right. But look, I think
all you have to know is every article about Al-Nassr now is about how many followers they've gained on Instagram and Twitter. Right. And that comes with it, whether you like it or not. That comes with the territory of signing a name as big as Cristiano Ronaldo.
So, is Sporting Kansas City? Is it fair to criticize the fact that they were even trying aggressively to get Ronaldo? Do you think it's just should they? I mean, there has to be from 1 to 10. How much do you think they deserve any criticism? Because I think this would have made a lot of fans upset.
Of course, and rightfully so. But I think if any criticism goes to them, it's minimal because it didn't happen. Maybe you hope some of the more intelligent people in the room were like, hey, yo, it feels like we shouldn't do this. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So you hope. So I think minimal criticism. You got to explore all avenues, right?
Okay.
If you're in a brainstorming session and you say, yo, there's no dumb questions. If someone says like, yo, how come I don't have toes on my dick? You'll be like, all right, okay, first of all, I did say there's no dumb questions. So I'm going to write this on the board. But I'm going to let you know later that probably wasn't the smartest question in the world. You know what I mean? Like,
sure.
If you're exploring all business opportunities, that's one of them. You would hope in the cons list, you would put Cristiano Ronaldo's name because he should be a convict. You know what I mean?
Look, Kevincha said they had multiple meetings. Yes, it is fair to criticize. The attempt is enough to criticize.
You're right. You're right to suggest that as well.
And that's a sporting Kansas City fan saying that. So I think from a sporting Kansas City fan perspective,
they should be they will be the most critical.
And the loudest about it.
But I don't expect a Whitecaps fan to have a big, strong opinion on the subject matter.
But the Sporting KC did have the discovery rights. Which also begs the question: why did you have Cristiano Ronaldo's discovery rights?
Right, please.
No.
Also, to Jamal, discovery rights.
Okay. Look, Premier League's gonna institute it soon. Don't worry about it.
Soon enough. And you remember, the joke is like Columbus Crew has the discovery rights to Messi or something like that, right? And I don't think anyone knew who had the discovery rights to Cristiano Ronaldo.
No, I mean, it has to be
interesting.
I'm sure there's a list somewhere. If anybody has access to the list, please send it over.
I'd love to go through.
We'd love to look through it.
Who's got the Mbappe discovery?
Okay.
Did you see Mbappe was at the Nets game, but he was sitting next to Marco.
Marco?
The owner of Lucali.
You say Marco, and I'm supposed to know who you're talking about?
100%.
Was Marco wearing dunks?
Actually, you know what's funny? I think he was. I swear to God, he might have been wearing like dress shoes.
Has no concept of like, there's people listening and watching this that they don't know what the hell you're talking about.
Yeah, we would talk about it.
A nice Cobra said, can the Cooligans get discovery rights for Haaland?
Bro, I think he's wearing dunks.
Okay. Marco, what's more comfortable?
No, he's wearing forces.
Oh, wow. Okay, I'm glad we got the confirmation.
Bro, that's important.
So the...
if you must know, Black Forces, white sole with the white swoosh.
Okay, yeah, we must know. So the fact that this got as far as it did, I mean, this could have been any MLS team, right? It's just we all... heard the stories.
I was a little afraid because he had almost signed to Manchester City.
Yeah,
that there would be a potential he would end up on the.
NYCFC. Look, and a lot of Manchester United fans felt this exact thing when he went back to Manchester United. You know, diehard Manchester United fans were like, "I don't want him back. I don't want him on the team." And you would see people just like tell him like, "Just hang it up, bro. You're done," or try to analyze games without even really addressing his existence. You know what I mean? Like he's already like an afterthought to the team. And these are diehard Manchester United fans that can't let go of who shouldn't let go of his past as a player, as a person. So this could have been any MLS team in this situation. It just happened to be Sporting Kansas City. So you wonder if there's... Could
you just imagine Cristiano Ronaldo living in Kansas City?
It's a strange thing to think.
Where they're like, Mr. Ronaldo, this is James. He's going to be your fixer, your handler for your time here in Kansas City. And he's like, thank you very much. Which way is the beach? And then you're going to have to be like, sit down, Mr. Ronaldo.
So
I know you don't like to take no for an answer, but
there was some quote like that he said about Kansas City that this is the type of project I would be interested in. And I was like, what are you saying? I mean, with all due respect to Kansas City.
You wake him up at 2 a.m, and that's one of the meaty answers he gives. He's like, I'm very happy with the project. This is exciting.
It is one of those, corporate speak things.
Of course.
I'm like, what are you saying? Why would
he pulled that up on deck number 4, page 4 of the deck.
Manchester Andrew said, Kansas City. It's a good one.
I sent Manchester Andrew, Saudi Arabia.
So, look, I think it is a bit of a shock. If it would have happened, I think it.
Mike Thomas, but we have an old quarry filled with rainwater.
Oh damn, bro!
You want a cabana?
I didn't know y'all get down.
Damn. Absorb those minerals. Have you been to the lake?
So, yeah, generally pretty wild. But, look, he's going to be in Saudi Arabia. I think what I hope that happens going forward is I don't want to see a Ronaldo highlight. I don't want to know the stats. That's it.
You're done?
You're done. You made this decision.
You gone.
You walk away.
Yeah.
You walk into the sunset.
It's that continent that deals with you now.
Right.
Yeah.
And look, but realistically, he's still gonna be a part of the news in some way.
Nick Red said if Ronaldo came to Kansas City, he would have been immediately sued.
Well put. Well put.
Great.
So yeah, I'm done. Hopefully, I think the humiliation of Messi winning the World Cup sent him to another.
Somebody tweeted out like a picture of Messi holding up the cup and a picture of Ronaldo holding up the Al-Nassr shirt. And they said, what an absolutely brutal ending to this rivalry for Ronaldo fans. And it's true.
And then on
I actually will say, like, I know I joked around a lot, but this has to be really difficult for him. You know, on the way out, he said the reason he left Europe is because he won everything he possibly could in Europe. There was nothing left to win.
Of course.
How about the World Cup? I know that's not just in Europe.
Yeah, look, whatever. It's he's getting paid something $200 million a season.
I thought it was $75 million.
No, 200. That's the number. I saw Fabrizio.
I'll go with whatever Fabrizio says.